Hey, folks, this is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. I wanted to slip in another podcast today before my live broadcast of the Views Expressed live at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And a little mini podcast, as I like to call them, keep you up to date of what's going on. Hey, first of all, in the Reno, Nevada area, if you're anywhere in the Reno, Lake Tahoe, Carson City, Dayton, Virginia City, Spanish Springs area of Reno, Nevada, you know, Verdi and all of that, come on down to Reno between June 19th and the 22nd and enjoy all the artwork at various locations. It's called Nada Dada Motel. Nada Dada Motel. That's one word. I'll spell that for you. It's N-A-D-A-D-A-D-A, second word, motel. Okay? Nada Dada Motel. You can go to Nada Dada Motel on Facebook. Check out all the information there as well. But it's June 19th through the 22nd. And I myself, being the artist I am the first year participating in this. So I will be at the Townhouse Motor Lodge in Reno, Nevada. Not sure exactly what room yet, but hey, there's going to be other artists there, so check out their work as well. That's Nada Dada Motel. Go to Nada Dada Motel on Facebook and check out all the information there as well. Awesome, and thank you for your support of this great event that happens every year. So, anyway, what else? Hey, go check out Brian Lang with Live Truth Radio on wakingupthemasses.com and livetruthradio.com. And check it out, man. I mean, this guy is on top of things, man. He literally tells it like it is. I mean, I share the truth one fact at a time. That's what Free America Radio does. But this guy, he says, hey, here it is, boom, right there in your face, and he tells it like it is. So, like he says, live truth, the reality underneath the honesty. Okay, so, I mean, that's something that is very, very important to listen to. Also, go check out a couple of shows on wakingupthemasses.com, and that is Kicking the Capstone with your host Bob Brutus on wakingupthemasses.com, and also another show, the Anchor Show, as I like to call it, of the network. It's Waking Up the Masses, hence wakingupthemasses.com. So go check that out as well. And of course, that's also hosted by Bob Brutus. And awesome show. He tells you everything you ever wanted to know, if not more, about the Illuminati and the Freemasons, and he names names and dates and places and history and all of that. And that's something you won't get from Glenn Beck. Anyway, not dashing Glenn Beck in this mini podcast. So anyway, just wanted to let you know that also a lot of things are going on. We've had several fatal shootings here in the last several weeks, days or weeks. Had one in Oregon yesterday, had one in Las Vegas last week or just a few days ago over the weekend. And, this is going to bring out the gun grabbers like you would not believe. This is going to bring out these people that just want to ban all guns everywhere and just keep them in the military and in the police department. Okay, this is just incredible. I cannot stand these people who want to take away my rights just because some other lunatic in some other part of the country decided to go do something that was very crazy. Okay, so I'm going to say this. Even though these people, these gun-grabbing morons, more than likely 99.9% of them are far left-wing radicals. Yes, I said it. Even though they might be so far left that they don't really care about anybody else's rights except their own, well, we have to stop them. And I was, let's just say someone told me that as much as I talk to people about shutting the mouths of these left-wing radicals, don't you think that what I'm doing is just as bad as what they're doing? And I was asked that, and I don't believe so, because here's why. And it's real simple. We all have a right to say what we want to say. We all have a right. It's a First Amendment, blah, blah, blah. It's protected. We just can't go into a movie theater and yell fire for no reason when there's no fire at all. That's just wrong. But when your freedom of speech, which is protected by the First Amendment, begins to infringe upon my right to stop any radicals from taking away my rights, that's when the problem begins. Okay? When that speech either is directed to cause an effect, or when that speech incites the cause and to gain an effect. In other words, if one person says, I'm going to do this, and goes and does it, does that mean his free speech is protected? If he tells a group of people to go do it, does that mean that their free speech is protected? Not when it incites a physical confrontation with people who just want to live peacefully, freely, be able to do, whatever it is they need to do to survive. Saying that you want to go out and, God, my boss pisses me off and I'm going to go beat him up. You have a right to say that. You have a First Amendment right to express your anger in that way verbally. But when your verbal frustration incites an action that is negative, that is when your freedom of speech should be limited. Okay? That's when you are not protected. I'm saying that. Now somebody would say, well, you want peace, freedom, and security for this country, and you'll do anything to get it, and you're going to stand on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and you have the freedom to do that. Do you not believe that that incites some sort of reaction that would cause somebody to go out and do something negative? If that was the case, then that person creating that havoc and engaging in that type of situation should have his head examined before somebody puts a bullet in it. Okay? Not everybody is so out there that they're going to do something that crazy. Okay? I'm pro-Constitution, Bill of Rights. I'm not even right-wing. I'm in the middle. I'm constitutional, if you want to label me something. And I stand on the Constitution prior to 1871. And that's the key thing. I don't incite riots. I don't incite or encourage people to go out and do anything negative. And if they do, that's on them. Well, I heard this person say this, so I'm going to go out and do this. Well, okay, you've just identified that you yourself, not the rest of the people, you yourself, not anybody else, is going to go out and cause this problem. Well, that problem is on you, and the consequences you'll have to suffer with. Okay? And this all goes back to, really, this whole, gun debate. Literally, everyone has a right under the Second Amendment of the Bill of Rights of the Constitution of the United States of America prior to 1871. Everyone has a right to wear a weapon of their choice. Period. Okay? I don't want to hear these gun-grabbing morons tell me that I'm wrong. I am not. You tell me where in the Second Amendment it says that I can't. But then again, where in the Second Amendment does it specify what kind of weapon you need to be carrying? It doesn't. Okay? Now, I want to direct this next statement to these gun-grabbing morons out there. You have a freedom of speech and a freedom to express that speech any way you see fit, to follow your conscience to that end result. And guess what? My Second Amendment protects your First Amendment right. And if anybody comes up to you and starts, throwing punches or whatever, or tries to kill you, I'm going to defend you. Why? Because I have a Second Amendment right to do so. Period. Now, you can argue that all day long. You can try to wrap your mind around that logic for the next 10 years. You won't be able to debunk it. Ever. My suggestion to you gun-grabbing morons is this. Shut your big damn cake hole. Get with the program. Understand that we're not giving up our guns, and that's just the way it is. And if you don't like it, you can pack your crap and get to another third world country. Go find an island in the Atlantic somewhere and just, no guns, no nothing. It's just you and your dog or whatever. Go be the Swiss Family Robinson somewhere because, you're going to have to kill an animal to eat it because you're going to have to survive. You're going to have to do something. So without some sort of weapon, you're not going to be able to survive. So you gun-grabbing morons better think about that. And all the laws that this stupid ignoramus in the suit in the White House at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is implementing is going to hurt you gun-grabbing morons. So think about that one. Now, I know that some people might say, why are you calling people names? If the shoe fits. I'm just, I also look at it this way. And it's real simple. I'm not going to complicate the situation for you, but it's very, very simple. And it's this. If for any reason whatsoever, you believe that the Constitution or the Bill of Rights does not work for you, you've only got one choice. Yeah, you've only got one choice. That's it. And it certainly isn't in the United States of America. Now, I know that there are some Americans, citizens here, who have been radicalized. Okay? And, well, let's just say, if anything, it's this. Take, for instance, when you were growing up and got bullied. If you didn't stand up to that bully, after a while, that bully thought that he can get away with anything with you. So, the Stockholm Syndrome kicks in and you say, well, I'll just hang out with my bully because, and like him, and maybe he can go pick on somebody else or do something for me or whatever. Well, okay, then along comes a couple of years and you're in high school and the guy's still picking on you, but you're paying him now. And you're paying him to go and beat up on some other kids that you don't like. Well, let me boil it down for you. This president is funding Al-Qaeda, is funding the Syrian rebels who cut the heads off of Christians. This president is funding the Muslim Brotherhood right here in the United States. Yes, 8 of his cabinet members are members of the Muslim Brotherhood. And they don't give one crap about you, and they will kill you on sight. Because this bully in the White House, this narcissistic, selfish Marxist, is going to do everything he can to fulfill his legacy to be the one that brought down America. That's probably in the back of his mind. And he's also been asking Congress if he could run for a third term. I look at it this way, folks. You've only got one choice, and one choice only. You've only got one choice. And that's to defend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America prior to 1871. Now, why do I keep saying prior to 1871? That's really simple. That is before the corporations took over through the Rothschild banking cartel. The United States is not run by Congress nor we the people. The United States, Washington, D.C., the United States is a corporation. Washington, D.C. is the CEO, or I should say the general manager, and the CEO is the banking cartels that own the corporations that run the United States of America. Did you get all that? I could go on and on and on, but I won't. I'll probably talk more about that on the Views Express live at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Free America Radio Network on Spreaker.com, freeamericaradio.us, and wakingupthemasses.com. I shall return right after this. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. Please join me on the Views Express live, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com. Waking up the masses. Truth, knowledge, and wisdom for your consumption. Waking up the masses. News and views concerning the New World Order. Waking up the masses. Join Bob Brutus as he pulls back the curtain on the esoteric agenda which has been in play for a millennia. Waking up the masses. WakingUpTheMasses.com. Hey, folks, welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. And like I said, it's a mini podcast, so this is the last segment of the podcast. As I say before, lots of things are happening, and I just want to encourage people to pay attention and do their homework. It frustrates me to no end that when I post something on my Facebook page, about something, that the comments always wind up getting to the point of not even being close to what the comment is or the picture or whatever. It goes off in some other random tangent, and people start responding in ways that don't even relate to what the article or the picture is. I don't get it. I honestly do not get it. But that's a little side note. I've got a lot that I want to share. Why don't you go to Free America Radio on Facebook and I'll give you a preview of what's coming up on the Views Express Live today at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. And it's quite interesting. Homeland Security, you'll see that big ol' ass picture right there, and says, report, DHS armored vehicles and support helicopters target small town. Kalispell, Montana, by the way. PaulCraigRoberts.org. John Whitehead is a guest columnist. Washington is arming against the public. Citizens for Freedom on Facebook. Patriots U.S. Patriot U.S.-Mexican border shutdown. There's that one. And, of course, AboveTopSecret.com, the real reason why the feds are grabbing land for. Okay. Of course, yesterday I mentioned this on my show, Asian slave labor producing prawns for supermarkets in U.S. and U.K. So there's that. Questions. And I hope I got the answers, but I will say this. No matter what, regardless of whether or not you think it should or should not happen, something is happening in this country. Something is happening that is not right. And we have to pay attention. At least we should. Shouldn't we? There are times when I just want to grab people by the shoulders and shake them up and say, can you wake up to this crap? Look what's happening around you. Look. But I know that I can't. And besides that, I know I shouldn't. But wouldn't it be nice just to one day be able to do that? Wouldn't it be nice that one day people can actually just understand what's going on? Wouldn't it be nice to wake up in a free and secure society and not have to worry about your government spying on you, monitoring you, taking certain freedoms away? Wouldn't it be nice? I think it'd be nice. I also think that, if anything, we, the people, could cause that to happen. I don't specifically know how, but I'm sure somebody does. I do know this. I do know that the powers that be are going to stop at nothing. They're going to pull out all the stops to try to stop the Patriot movement and stop people from getting their freedom and liberty, because they want to enslave everyone. Okay? And that, in my book, ladies and gentlemen, will not fly. And if we can make sure that what we are so paranoid, well, I don't want to say paranoid. I mean, there are people that are worried, and concerned. But I want to stop that from happening. I want to be able to see people actually stand up, do what they have to do to stop this ultimate takeover of the United States. And I speaking of which, I remember seeing a blurb that said America has already been taken over. Well, if it has, well, it has. And we have to deal with it at that level. But if it's not, then we can stop it. Because you know how the papers are. I mean, they embellish everything, okay? But what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Do we sit there and just say, well, you know, that's just the way it is and there's nothing we can do about it? Or do we actually get up and go do something about it? I mean, it's entirely up to you. But I'll tell you what, the powers that be already know this. They've already profiled you through their monitoring of you. They know your habits. They know what you're going to do. Probably long before you know what you're going to do. And it's very, at some time, and from my own experiences, I've seen certain things happen to certain people, and it made me perk up an ear like, wait a minute, how did they know that that person was going to do that? You know, so this is long before this whole last 6 or 7 years or whatever it was. I mean, we've been monitored for quite some time. I can tell you that. I'm not going to tell you how I know, but we've been monitored for quite some time. So, I mean, think about it, though. Think about this. Now, let me sum it up by saying this. We all know what's out there. We can see it, but we're not paying that much of attention to it. We see it happen before us, and we, turn our heads and not want to see it. You know, it's that type of thing that's going on. But my suggestion is that you need to look at this stuff. You need to pay attention. You need to pay attention. And it's only going to help you and benefit you in the long run and benefit you and your family in the long run. And it's hard, it's hard to take in that, at some point you're going to have to accept the fact that our government is corrupt, stage false flags, have wiped out all kinds of information pertaining to, the things that we're looking at, or not wiped them out, but generally kept them so ultra secret that we can't get any word on it. So yeah, you're going to have to accept it because that's the way it is. Our government is corrupt. They're after you. They want to enslave you. They're allowing the Chinese and the Muslim Brotherhood to come in to take everything and all this. Now, that's extreme, I know, but go look this stuff up yourself. Go look this stuff up yourself because you know something's happening, don't you? So anyway, little mini podcast. I wanted to throw that in there to try to encourage you to pay attention and go look this stuff up yourself, basically. So. Come check out the views expressed live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, on Free America Radio Network, on freeamericaradio.us, on Spreaker.com, on wakingupthemasses.com, and on 1610 a.m. in the Chickamauga, Georgia area. Come check it out, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. I will talk to you later. Have a great day, and I'll just come and check it out. The views expressed live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Free America Radio Network. Talk to you guys later.